Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. We're here for a little receipt report. And then if you stick around after, we have a super special interview with Sophie from Love is Blind UK. Obviously, she was a bit controversial throughout the season. So we definitely wanted to chat with her and get all of the behind the scenes tea. Like, what the heck happened in this damn photo booth? Did she have a connection with Javan? She might have had a little date with another cast member since filming. So we got so much tea. So you do not want to miss it. It will definitely change your perspective of her, I think, and gives a little more context. So let us know what you guys think about our interview with Sophie. So that'll be coming up quick. But just before, we had a few things in the news we wanted to get to. So we'll start with the first thing, which is kind of old news. But if you remember Jimmy from Love is Blind, Mr. EpiPen,
Yes.
that Jimmy, he had like this
Megan Fox, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that there's so much lore about these seasons. Yes, the one with Megan Fox, and he had this beautiful girlfriend, and she posted a TikTok basically saying, allegedly, because I mean she's saying it, she would know, but he cheated on her, and he had the girl's name in his phone as Eli Manning. So that's over now. So as we've heard from a few of these people on shows, the ladies flock to the men that have been on the show. So I guess Jimmy just couldn't resist, and so I think Chelsea, Megan Fox, is probably happy she dodged a bullet at this point. So yes, so someone just brought that to our attention. Someone else also brought to my attention that Raven from season 3, love her, Pilates Raven. Yeah, she had like a serious boyfriend for a while, but they don't follow each other anymore. So I don't know if they broke up. He was Christian, I think his name was, but
I
she
remember she was posting. Oh no.
yeah. I
Okay.
know, but I mean, it's possible people just unfollow each other for privacy reasons, but they had posted each other. They were pretty public.
No, and
Yeah.
unfollow serious business. Yeah,
Mhm.
especially when you're in a relationship. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the tea on that. I mean,
Okay.
we don't have any details yet, but we always find some. So I don't know if Raven's pretty private now. She focuses more on her Pilates. She stays out of the Love is Blind world, but I would love to talk to her if she would ever talk to us, but I don't know if she would. So her season was a hot mess, as we remember,
Her
but
season was a hot mess, and I remember she was in my comments during her season because the SK cheating scandal was probably the first big story that I broke, and I talked to the girl that was his girlfriend,
right.
Hannah.
So
Yeah.
she might not want to talk to
She
us,
might not wanna
although
talk about what's
she
that
may be happy.
gotta do with me? Like, I just talked to Hannah, like, you guys were both getting played by the same guy, he's the villain, like,
I
Hannah.
was gonna say, she might actually appreciate you because, you I mean, this girl was telling her story regardless, right? Like,
But
she wanted the
also,
world to know, but
I also talked to the friend that was on the show, and she kinda didn't have the nicest things to say about Raven.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when a friend turns on you like that. I
Yeah.
understand why she was not a fan of that, but
Yeah.
hopefully she's okay. I follow her still. I like her content. She does a lot of Pilates. She got like a YouTube for it if you're into Pilates. So it's nice to do it online and not in front of people where you fall off the machine. That never
Yeah.
happened to me, I swear, but
Yeah.
it
Right.
would if I tried. So
Seriously. Yeah.
yes. And Love is Blind receipt report. TJ and Iris have been spotted
Love Island.
together. Yes. Oh, did I say Love?
You
It
said Love
takes
is
me a
Blind.
while. Like
I
literally the
know, it's
hash,
literally so, like, I do the
it's
same
almost
thing.
the same words. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when the seasons switch over and I try to write out like captions or hashtags, like my brain literally malfunctions. I have to really think about it. Like, cause it starts out, love is
Yes.
land or blind. Like it's so
Yes.
hard, but
Yes.
Love Island. And this is going to be really hard because Love Island Games and Love is Blind is going to be on at the same time, and it's going to be tricky. So bear
Yes.
with us. Yes, Love Island USA, TJ and Iris spotted together. So you think that's a real thing, or they're just trying to get people talking?
I mean, I think it's probably a little bit of both. If it is a real thing, I find it comical that, like, okay, well, it didn't work out with Pepe, so let me go back to TJ. I mean, they did have like a connection. I don't know how I would feel if I was TJ, like, oh, now you want to come back? Like, now that
Yeah.
it didn't work out with this guy. But I mean, they gotta ride the wave while they
Yeah.
have it. So
That's the thing. It's so hard to tell right now because everything's still fresh and we don't know who's genuine and who's not. I think once we get like 6 months down the road to a year, then we can start. Because even like look at Kenny and Janae, that went a whole year before we found out the truth. So
yeah,
I now it's just cautiously like, oh, that's cute for them, but I don't know how serious it is. So
yeah.
Iris and Amaya are presenting at the Emmys, which is exciting for
Oh, wow, I
them.
didn't know that.
I think it's the Creative Arts Emmys, which is still super cool, but it's like that's the one that has all the reality TV nominations. Like that's the one the Vanderpump cast has presented at, and
Oh.
so still a really big deal. So very exciting for them. Huda did an NFL commercial,
Mhm.
so that's cool for her. She's with Louis, I think, in my country in Ontario, doing some club appearances. So I just hope they're paying her to show up at those clubs too, because
Yeah,
I wouldn't wanna just share Louis' fee. I would be like, "Give me my own fee." I think actually,
exactly.
Corey from Million Dollar Secret, remember that guy?
Mhm.
He's, like, doing one of the appearances with them too, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good for
I think he's from
them.
Canada too, so makes
Okay.
sense. Bravo receipt report. If you've been watching Miami with us, then you know about Stephanie and her PJ and how she doesn't
Mhm.
like people to poop on her PJ.
Mhm.
Apparently, that's legit because she just did an interview saying she doesn't even let her glam squad use the bathroom if it's a long haul flight. Like they could go to Dubai, no one's allowed to use the bathroom. She said they won't eat for 3 days before they go on her plane.
They can't
So,
even do number 1?
oh, I think they can. Yes, yes. Just the
Okay.
poops bother her.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I I would never poop on an airplane. I can
no.
barely poop in a public bathroom. I don't poop in public bathrooms, actually. I have to be at home.
Hmm.
I don't know why. It's just, like,
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. Like, even on vacation, I have to be at home. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think that's a common problem, but then I think there's also people that have, like, issues, like,
Right.
I don't know what they're called. Someone could tell us in the comments, but there's people who might need the bathroom urgently, right? So,
That's
I
true.
can see now I think that might have had a lot more to play in why Alexia and Marisol didn't go on the plane, 'cause that's a scary position to put yourself in, right? If you have those issues, not that they do, but I'm like, she
Yeah.
had a lot of rules for her plane, and I
Yeah.
think they were just tired of it, so
Yeah.
any other receipt? Oh, obviously, there's a lot going on with Real Housewives of Orange County. Katie did a bunch of interviews yesterday. So,
Oh, I didn't see him.
yeah, she did Two Teas in a Pod, which is Tamara's. And then she
Okay.
also did the Vile File. So she was everywhere yesterday.
Oh.
I still feel very confused about what happened. Like, I know everybody has become Team Katie, they love her.
Ah.
Anything she says, they're just buying. I
Okay.
don't like the gang up, and I do think people should be more mad at Gretchen, like, she's the one that
Yes.
said it, but I do
Mhm.
find it Katie very hard to believe because there has been so many lies, so I'm kind of torn on, like, whose team to be on, but everyone's team Katie, it seems, in the comments, so
Hmm.
she explained things, but it was still very complicated. She's saying, like, she didn't repeat it, and then she's saying, "But I never said it in this way," so she's contradicting herself in the interviews, and
It's
she
like, okay,
basically
even if Gretchen said it to you, why did you tell
mhm.
Kiki?
So that's
What
what
that's just
she's
the question, just question answer, you know?
mhm, and that's the part that she's denying. She denies telling Kiki. She says, "I
So how
never
did
told
Kiki
Kiki."
find out?
Now they're blaming our buddy Sheena. Sheena's in everything. So they're saying because Kiki goes on Sheena's podcast a lot. She's her co-host a lot.
Okay.
And they're saying and Sheena is friends with Gretchen. And so now people are saying that Sheena and Gretchen concocted this big thing and with Kiki, which, it seems more plausible that it's just the original story that it was Kiki.
Seems more plausible that it's what Kiki said. That Kiki said
Yes.
that Gretchen I mean, Kiki said that Katie told her, just like
Mhm.
you also told her about whatever, the designer, "Oh, is that an Asian designer?" Just like she didn't so you did tell her that, but you didn't tell her the other one? Like, come on!
Yeah. It's getting complicated, but
Just
yeah,
say
now
you
it's
told her at this point. It's okay. It's okay.
well, and that's the advice because Teddy was doing the interview on 2 Ts, and she was giving Katie that advice. She was kinda like, your reactions are making you look like you're lying, right? Just say it. She should have said in front of everybody, yes, Gretchen, you did tell me. Jen, you were right there. And then it's like hot potato. Right now, that's on them. You answer it now. Like, why Katie just keeps kind of being like, I don't know. And then everyone's like, you're lying then. So she's having a hard time confronting people in the moment, which is how
Yeah.
you look truthful, right? If you
Right.
can't, she couldn't say it in front of Gretchen and Jen. That's what made it look like she's lying, right? Because she just wasn't calling people out. So they're
Right.
giving her advice for the reunion. So we'll see what happens. But
We'll see. Yeah.
yeah, so I think anything else going on in the news?
Nope. I think we got it all.
I think we will be getting a Love is Blind Denver drop cast any day now. It's obviously
Okay.
less than a month away. Not a lot of tea. Like, obviously, Minneapolis back in the spring, there was tea flowing from a year out, and those girls
Yeah.
making videos. Not much going on. So
We did have tea who got married, right? Like we know.
for Denver,
Was it Denver? Or is it the one after that? I don't know.
we
I
know
don't.
lots. Yeah, we know
Yeah.
lots about Columbus, which is a
Oh,
year
okay.
away.
That's the
So
next one. Okay. Yeah. See,
yes,
that's this. The tea just keeps coming in. But
yeah, it's
we
very far
did
in the future.
get. I don't know if you've seen. We had obviously Shelly and Amaya at the U.S. Open as well as Olandria, and then we did get a video of Olandria saying, "Watch my boyfriend." Da, 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 but it was for like the agua de whatever that little drink
Yeah,
that they've been promoting. So I don't
Kiffers.
know if that was like an actual announcement or a hard launch. People are freaking out about it because they think it's a hard launch of
Mhm.
Olandria calling Nick her boyfriend. And then there was a
Mm.
video of them. I don't know if you've seen it, and he's like carrying her, like he's literally holding her like this, like a little doll, and like
Aw.
for her feet. So I don't know if that's like an official announcement or if it was just promo for the drink, but people were like freaking
Yes.
out about it.
Well,
So
they're going to the VMAs apparently, and they were on like some pre-party red carpet yesterday. So I shared the
mm,
photo of that. They look like boyfriend and girlfriend, but as we've learned, these people are not wanting to put labels on things, which is fair, but they look like they are. So I hope they're gonna announce that they're exclusive soon, but we'll see. But they look good, so that's all that
yeah,
matters.
that's all that
Mhm.
matters. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, yeah, lots of little things going on. Still, obviously, it's been a while since Love is Blind. I did it again. Love Island aired. Now we're into September. The things are still flowing, and I imagine with Love Island USA, or no, Love Island Games, I feel like they could do a full USA Games because there's so many people now, but I
Yeah,
think it's
for
going to
sure.
be all the countries. So
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be wanting to ride that wave, obviously. So I know some people have commented like, "Stop talking about Love Island, it's over," but it's not over. It's just starting up again. It's gonna be
Never
another
over.
month of it. So we'll keep
Yeah.
you guys in the loop of
Yep.
what we hear. So
Yeah.
and yeah, stay tuned for Sophie. She'll be up next. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Or yeah, but stick around for the interview.
Stick around for them. Don't go nowhere.
Don't leave yet.
Interview's coming. The interview's it's right after
Yes, then we'll see you next time after
this.
Sophie. Okay, remember how I was telling you the other day how hard it is to grocery shop and meal plan for my picky kids?
Yeah.
Have you heard about HelloFresh?
Oh my God. I freaking love HelloFresh. I literally use it all the time and then I save all my little menus they send me. Are you using them now?
I am, and you know how much we love an upgrade, and HelloFresh has recently doubled their menu. So you can now choose from over 100 options, and they have bigger portions than ever.
Well, the reason I loved HelloFresh was because of the healthy meal options. I felt like they had healthier meal options packed with like veggies and proteins. And when you're working out and trying to stay fit, it's sometimes hard to find like healthy recipes that actually taste good. And these recipes actually taste great. And now they have steak and seafood for no extra cost. It used to be an extra cost, but now there's no extra cost. So you get more shrimp options, more steak options. So I'm here for it because I love shrimp.
I also love shrimp. Seafood is my favorite. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/RR10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/RR10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life.
I cannot wait for you guys to try it. I use it. Ashley uses it now, and the meals, chef's kiss, no pun intended.
Yes, you guys should definitely try it out and let us know what you think. I'm going to post some of my meals that I've been making on my Instagram if you want to go check those out. And we can't wait to hear about how much you guys are enjoying it too. Hey guys, as you can see, we have a very special guest today. We have the pleasure of talking to Sophie from Love is Blind UK. So, why don't we go all the way back to the start and you let us know how you found yourself on Love is Blind? Like, how did you get cast on the show?
It all started as any love story in this day and age. I got an Instagram DM,
Love it.
um, and they were like, "We think you'd be perfect for this show." I was single. My dating life was a bit of a disaster, so I was like, "What have I got to lose?" And then
Hmm.
fast forward from that message, 6 months later, I was flying out to Sweden.
Oh, so they did the pods in Sweden?
Yeah, so it's all of the pods are filmed in Sweden because they have like a Love is Blind franchise. So
Yes.
any of the European ones are all filmed in Sweden, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned on the show that you have four brothers, which is amazing. I have two boys and I'm like, two boys is a lot of boys. So growing up with four boys is like
A lot.
crazy, I'm sure. Yeah. And one of my favorite things was your sense of humor on the show. You had so many funny one-liners like, you don't want an ugly car, which I relate to. That's why I stopped at too. And I thought it was so funny. So was like growing up in that environment full of boys, like is that where you got your humor from or
Yeah,
how
so
was that?
in my family, our love language is banter. So it's taking the mickey out of each other.
Uh-huh.
Um and we're all very quick-witted, so yeah, one-liners are always coming out, but that's actually
Uh-huh.
one thing that I wish they showed more because I said so many funny things.
Uh-huh.
um I'm glad some of them actually got cut because some were a bit brutal. They were still funny
Yeah.
but a little bit brutal. But yeah, definitely have a very masculine sense of humor.
Yes, that's something we're learning about watching all of these UK shows lately, the banter, right? Because sometimes we're like, do they like that person or is that just how they like, that's the love language, like you
Yeah,
said. So
I
it's
feel
cool to
like
see.
if a British person likes you, they are probably being more jokey with you and probably being a bit mean. Like Americans are like, "Why are you
Okay.
being mean to me?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was just having a joke. Sorry."
Okay, see, I think that is a common theme. I think that we've seen because we just reviewed The Perfect Match and Ollie was on there and there was a bunch of people from the UK and I'm like, is this just their banter or are they being mean? Because as
Yeah.
Americans, I'm like, no, this is mean. This
Yeah.
is their flirty banter. This is mean and I don't like it. So
Yeah.
it's nice to hear you say that like that's kind of how you flirt, I guess, is like kind of being
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes
like
sense.
my parents always used to say, and not just my parents, but most British parents, like, if a boy in school was mean to you, like, you would come home, like, crying, like, "Oh, he was being mean," and they're like, "They like you." So
Yes.
so,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, if you're a bit sensitive to jokes, you won't do very well in Britain, I don't think.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not being sensitive to jokes, it's like certain jokes, like, too far.
Yeah.
That's too
Yeah.
far. Like,
Yeah, I think we do toy the line with, like, being
okay.
really
Yeah.
mean and just flirting, but you just have
Okay.
to let them know. Everyone's sense of humor, even in England, is, like, very varied. Mine is very strong because I just had brothers who
Mhm.
used to joke with me,
Mhm.
Mhm.
all the time, so I'm very used to it. But, yeah, some people not so much, but,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like our flirting needs to be more flirting and less being mean.
Yeah.
Must me. Okay, that
Love it.
makes a lot of sense. With the four brothers and then the humor, it makes sense of like what we saw on television. Obviously, your biggest storyline, your biggest connection in the pods was with Kieran.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us more about that? More of like what we didn't see because from a viewer's perspective, it did seem like you were Kieran's number one. At least to me, it did. and he just wanted you to kind of like open up, and we've seen a little bit of that, not much of that. What about you and Kieran's connection was so special, and like what did we miss?
So I think the biggest thing that you guys miss, and I got a lot of comments online, and they were like, "Why is Sophie here? Like, she's not being very open. She's not being very vulnerable." Now, to be frank, and in hindsight, I can say this very like with a lot of confidence. I wasn't being that vulnerable because I didn't think any of them were my husband, right? So I didn't want to give all of me to people that I wasn't even sure if I liked them. Never mind could fall in love and get married. But with Kieran, we had a strong connection. I had other connections, but we're very similar as people. Like, we had a lot in common, and I think maybe as viewers you don't see that, but it was just very it was very easy to talk about difficult conversations with him. But yeah, there's a very strong view that we were both very heavy for each other, and he was my strongest connection. But yeah, I was having doubts before that stage, and I was like, oh, I really like him. It's very easy to chat to him, but I was like, I don't know if it's my husband, right? Because if you're
Yeah.
going on this show and thinking, oh yeah, this potential to be a boyfriend and see where it goes, fine, I probably would have dated him, but it's not. It's marriage in 6 weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah, but there's no shock horror that I think he is way better suited to Megan. Them two just bounce off each other, and they're such a great couple. I'm glad I left when I did. I have no regrets of leaving when I did. I just, like, on day 2, the day where I'm talking about designer bags, I'm in the lobby on the way to go to film, and I was crying my eyes out, and they were like, Sophie, what's wrong? And I put so much pressure on myself before going on this show to, like, I was like to my parents, I was like, I'm gonna bring a husband back, like, I've got this, guys.
Yes.
No more single Sophie. And on day 2, I was very much like, he's not in here. And
No.
like, I was like, can I go home now? And they were like, no, come on, Sophie, like, do the experiment. So yeah, all morning that day I had been crying, and I went on a few dates before the one with Kieran, and they were all very jokey, like trying to cheer me up. But yeah, I think the thing you miss as viewers the most is I was very certain that my partner wasn't in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we did see you sort of slowly open up to Kieran a little bit, and it did seem like you were kind of coming around to him and getting to that place. But do you think ultimately he just felt nervous that you were too guarded and weren't going to open up, and that's why he went with Megan? Or do you think obviously they had a better connection? Or do you think if you would have kept opening up, he might have gone in your direction?
Um, I don't know. I don't know, because obviously when you're in there, you compare all of your connections. Like, every single date
Mhm.
you're on, you're having like very similar conversations. So you'll come out and you'll be like, okay, well, I learned that. And they were very forthcoming about this, or it's easy. Like,
Mhm.
I had some connections where it was just flirting.
Mhm.
Which I'm sure you'll be shocked to hear, but that, like me and Javen, it was just flirty jokes. Like, there wasn't much substance
Okay.
to the
Mhm.
dates. Um, Whereas Kieran, it was very easy to have substance. And
Mhm.
watching his um Megan and Kieran's journey, I think they did very well at flirty and substance. Whereas,
Right.
like, when I was going back in the lounge, I was like, I have loads of substance with Kieran, but we're not very flirty. But that was also
Mhm.
because I didn't want to have certain conversations with a partner on camera, and I was very adamant about that. So again, the scene where I look like I'm not interested and falling asleep is very much me saying, love that, you've got no issues on the outside world, but
Mhm.
we don't need to discuss it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I know that we saw, well, what we saw, it looked like you went home because Kieran gave Megan this gift. But now I'm hearing you say that on day 2 you wanted to go home. Was that actually why you went home, is because he gave Megan the gift?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Do tell. Tell us more.
Yeah.
Why'd you?
Fill us in.
What was really left?
So me storming out and being like, get this mic off me, that happened after my date with Kieran. But I actually stayed a few days after that. So I stopped dating
Okay.
Kieran and I had other connections. And I was still every single night, you've got nothing else to talk about but this experiment, right? And I was like talking to the girls in there and I was like, I have connections and they must be ranking me high, right? To still keep seeing these people every day. But there's girls in there like crying and like very adamant that they found their partner and that they're in love. And I remember just sitting there and I was like, I don't even know if I like any of these people enough to even take home to meet my family. Like, never mind get married.
Yeah.
And I was actually having a conversation with Ashley on the lounge sofa, and I was like, I think I want to go home. And she was like, no, Sophie, like, come on, like, keep being open. And I remember just crying to her, and I was like, no, I was like, I feel like as a woman, you have this like gut feeling, and I just felt like if I stayed, I would have taken someone else's experience away from them. Like there'd be potential that someone could have I could have formed another connection with someone else, but everyone else had such strong feelings and mine were very mid. So I just felt it was right to remove myself. It was hard to do that because again, I speak about it a lot on the show, but rejection is like one of my biggest issues. I've done a lot of therapy on it, and again, didn't realize going on the show, like I always knew that I didn't put myself in positions to get rejected, and that's another misconception. When I say, oh, I don't get rejected, that's not me saying I'm amazing and no one ever says no to me, right? But that's me saying I don't put myself in positions. Like I won't go and ask a guy on a date first. Like I'm very much in my normal dating life, like they either have to be obsessed with me and me be like, okay, this is clear, he's not going to reject me, or I'm just fine by myself. But yeah, I learn a lot that my relationship with my mother is that reason why I have such a big fear of rejection. And I remember saying to the producers of the show before I left, I was like, I can't deal with any more rejection. And I was like, especially of people I'm not even bothered about. Like, if I thought I had a great connection, you would go for it, right? And if they rejected you, it is what it is. At least you tried. But I was like, oh, no, I like them. And I was like, but if they rejected me again, I was like, I won't be okay. So I'm just going to remove myself.
Well, I think we respect that so much because we see so many people on this show just keep going along, even though they probably feel similarly to you. And they end up, I mean, on this season, we saw some of them even get married and like they really should have just removed themselves much earlier. So I think that that's a lot of respect given to you to do that and to realize like your person's not here. You're not going to take that from somebody else. But you did mention other connections a few times. So can you let us know who some of those connections were?
I can't remember all of them because there's like so many that like everyone will reiterate the same story, but you date everybody in there. But Javen was a connection. Jed was a connection. There was another one, like because in the last few days that I was there, you only have 4 connections left. I think it may have been Charlie, but yeah, a great connection that I can't remember.
Yeah. He must have been amazing. We see why you left.
Did you ever like reach out? Did you ever reach out to any of the other connections and like try to date them post pods or no?
No.
Okay. Because I know
No.
some of the cast did that.
Yeah, no. I've kept in touch with some of in my head I call them husbands because like it's so easy to like ascertain.
Right.
But to clarify, none of the husbands on the show, but I've kept in touch with some of the pod guys. And we've gone and done stuff together. But at the mixer, and then after the mixer, you obviously all follow each other on Instagram or socials, or there's the
Mhm.
real life element. And yeah, I think it just cemented that they weren't my people. There's
Yeah.
some
Mhm.
amazing guys that have been on this show, and a lot of them didn't get much airtime. Like my dates with Charlie and Jordan were some of the funniest dates I've ever gone on in my life. And they're
Mhm.
such great people, but none of them are my person.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been hearing about Charlie. I think he made some good connections with people, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
he sounds
Charlie
good.
was doing really well in the pods. He had loads of
Yeah.
girls after him.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Well, maybe we need to talk to Charlie. But
Yeah.
speaking of speaking of the mixer, so I'm sure you've watched it back by now. Megan had some things, not so nice things to say about you. How was that watching it back? And was Kieran really not your type?
So I watched the episodes the same time as everybody else.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's a bit of miscommunication there.
Okay.
In terms of his jacket, Megan is wearing this beautiful purple dress, and
Mhm.
Kieran is wearing this brown jacket. Now, the
Yeah.
jacket is not to my taste, and it was not to put him down or to
Mm.
make her feel a type of way. It was me just being me, jokey self, and being like, what is that jacket? Like,
Yeah.
if he loves that, she loves that, love that for you. It just wasn't a bit of me. And I was like, you'll later see they now color coordinate. And that was more
Yeah.
what I was trying to say. It wasn't he looked hideous.
Yeah.
I've spoken to my girlfriends since it's all aired, and they were like, yeah, we knew Kieran wouldn't be your type. I have never
Mm.
in my life dated a blonde.
Mm.
Mhm.
I've had like talk situationships with them, and I don't know, I've never dated a blonde. They've all
Mhm.
said if he was like brunette, he probably would be your type.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a typical girl, and my type is tall, dark, and handsome. So
Yeah.
again, it looks like I'm like, oh, Kieran's ugly, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I just said, oh, he's not my type. I never dated a blonde.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
then my comment, like to the other girls, I'm like, oh, at least all your guys are good looking. Again, that's not me saying I fancy your fiancés. It's that was our biggest worry in the pods was like, oh, like, are they going to be good looking?
Yeah.
And obviously this was the first time I was seeing them all. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh,
Mhm.
girls, like you've got nothing to worry about kind of thing.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
all of the guys, everybody in the pod squad, who's the most attractive? Who's the most physically your type?
Charlie.
Okay. I need to look Charlie
Yeah.
up.
We're like,
I
who is
have no
Charlie?
like visual of
He,
Charlie. I need
Charlie
to
just looks like we have a British term and it's called geezer, and it just means like a bit of like a lad. And Charlie just
Okay.
looks like a lad. But I think when I was in there, I did really well in visuals. Like the
Mhm.
only person who surprised me was Jed.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
I thought he would look. Um, I thought he would look more Lebanese.
Yeah.
Um, so and a bit taller, but the rest of them I got down to a T. So I remember going in, and there were a few girls in like that had connections with Charlie, and I was like, yeah, he's good looking. And they were like, how do you know? And I was like, he's too confident and he's too much of like a Jack the lad to not be good
Uh-huh.
looking. But yeah, he's really lovely as well. Again, just not my guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tall, dark, and handsome, Javin and you had a little bit of flirting at the mixer that we saw, and obviously, as you said, that's what you did in the pods. You had a flirty relationship. So obviously, when you picked that up out of the pods, that was just the way you communicate together. So that makes a lot more sense. That gives it more context. So watching it back, did you regret being flirty with him, or is that just how you are, or you thought him and Katisha weren't really a good match? And because he did communicate, we were not really feeling it, right? And so did you think she wasn't really feeling him either, and you didn't think it was a problem to flirt with him, or what was your
If
thoughts watching it
I'm
back?
if I'm completely honest, I just had a few too many lychee martinis, and
Uh,
it's the first time I'm seeing these guys. And as I said, the way that we communicated in the pods was very flirty, like
mhm,
jokey, and you can see we're both like crying with laughter. Like it was very flirty. We both took accountability and have both since apologized publicly and privately to Katisha. That behavior
mhm,
is unacceptable. Um, it is edited for the viewers, like we were chatting for 40 minutes, and it's been broken down to a 2-minute segment where it looks like we're about to go home together.
Mm.
yeah.
But yeah, either way, it was disrespectful. I regret that behavior. Um, it's just unfortunate that we're both very flirty people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He was obviously engaged. Yeah, the conversation should have ended way sooner than it did. And there should have been more respect from my side and Javen's side when it came to Katisha.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking accountability because
Yeah.
what
Nobody
can
ever
you
does
do
that.
yeah, nobody ever does. They have an excuse of why they did it and how and oh, it's the edit. So, I mean, all you can do is respect, like saying I took accountability. Are you and Katisha okay now? Do you guys
Yeah, so
communicate?
again, what you don't see is I got on really well with Katisha, like in the
Mhm.
girls' lounge. We're both again very similar type of girls.
Mhm,
And at the reunion, that was the first time we were seeing this mixer episode like live. Like we all were there, but again, you don't know how that's gonna view, and like that hurt her deeply seeing that, and I get why. So as you can all see, I publicly said sorry at the reunion.
Uh-huh.
And then a few days later, we go to the premiere. And I pulled her to a side and I was like, look, I'm not really happy with how it finished at the reunion. I just want you to know I love you so much. I respect you. And I was very proud of her because I know like she struggled at the reunion with like all of her feelings and communicating um and so forth, but she held herself so well, and she has done since with like press and media. And I just wanted to let
mhm,
her know, like as a friend from the pods and not someone who was flirting with her fiance, that like she was smashing it and we squashed the beef. We actually sat next to each other when they play the wedding episodes, and it's all with like press and TikTokers and influencers in the room, and the scene of me flirting with Javen comes on, and like she just squeezed my hands, and like I got booed, Javen got booed in the room, and like
yeah.
we just like we're now at a position where it's funny, but it
Okay.
was quite raw to begin with, and I appreciate that. And
Mhm,
I commend her for having the strength to walk away, because
Yeah.
like I did that with no connection and nothing really to lose, but she did that with someone who put a ring on her finger, right? That she introduced to her family. So
Mhm.
mhm.
it's a big girl move, and like I respect her for doing that.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think Demila was a better fit for Katisha?
No.
No.
Uh
Okay.
Oh,
Demila is a beautiful soul, which you
Mhm.
see, and he's so sweet and he's so lovely. But again, I wish, like, Katisha's a very intelligent girl. Javen
Mm.
is a very intelligent guy. They
Okay.
would not get to the point of this experiment if there wasn't a strong connection there.
mhm,
You guys see that their communication styles don't match,
Mm.
but in terms of their lifestyles and the depth of their connection, it was very strong.
Okay.
mhm,
They just have a different style of communication, which I think was their issue.
Okay.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. I have to ask about this photo booth because I think that at the reunion, the one question that I'm like, I don't know if we got an answer, maybe they cut it, but what were you and Javin arguing about? Like, how did it go from this flirty banter at the mixer to now somehow an argument? It's nice to know that you guys actually did have a connection in the pod. That makes more sense to me. But what was the argument about? What were you guys arguing about?
So again, what you don't see is it's the same thing that we were joking about. So again, we both believe that we're very intelligent people. So we were joking about behind the scenes stuff. Like a producer made a comment to me and they made a different one to Javen. And like we were joking about it and he was like, "You're dumb if you believe that." And I was like, "You're dumb if you don't believe mine." Like having a bit of a jest.
Okay.
And then we then had further communications behind the scenes. And then we're on this night out and he was just like, "You're silly if you believe this." And I was like, "Well, you're silly if you believe that." And then it turned very quickly to, "Well, I believe what I believe, you believe what you believe." But both of us was getting frustrated that the other person didn't see it from our point of view.
Okay.
So there's never gonna be like a groundbreaking story because it's really not exciting, but it was just behind the scenes stuff that happened in the pods and communication with producers. Like it really isn't a juicy conversation. And the ironic part of all of this is we actually went into the photo booth so no one could make comment, right? We were like, again, thinking we're both very smart people. We're like, oh, if we go out in the smoking area, everyone's going to be like, we didn't see them. They went in the smoking area for 40 minutes. If we left the venue, same thing. And we were like, if we go in this photo booth that's directly opposite us with no curtain and is actually a larger photo booth than many photo booths out there, no one can be like they were acting weird. There's numerous people that were there that could see us. It's just unfortunately that Megan and Kieran and other people were round the corner. But there's like 15, 20 of us on this night out. Like loads of people saw us having this conversation. They could see it was heated. There wasn't a curtain. No one's being sneaky. Yeah, if anything, Katisha had no issues with me and Javen. Like, we were more likely going to throw a drink on each other than kiss behind a curtain.
So you can't say what that thing was. Like, did it have to do with your connection, or it was just a totally random, nothing to do with you and Javen?
It was literally just behind the scenes. It's the way that the program works, and he had a view and I had a different view. So, yeah, like if we could go in depth, but it literally wouldn't make sense to anybody because you don't know everything else. But yeah, I honestly wish it was more exciting, but yeah, it truly wasn't.
Do you wish now that you guys wouldn't have gone in the photo booth and would have just had the conversation out in the open where everyone could see you because of all the ruckus it caused?
Absolutely. Again, in hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? So we were having this tit for tat for like 15 minutes, like, and you're in a club, right? It's very loud. And I actually walked into the photo booth first, and I literally have a frame picture here of photo booth pictures. I love a photo booth, and it's really sad now because every time I see one, I'm not going in there. But
It's
yeah, the
ruined it.
ironic part was the photo booth wasn't even working. Like we didn't even get a photo out of it. But yeah, we both have said we probably should have just dropped the conversation. Like it was very clear that neither of us was going. We're both very stubborn, and neither of us was going to say, "Oh, actually, yeah, you're right, I'm wrong." And it, like the photo booth conversation only ended because I was like, "We're not getting anywhere. This is ruining my night. See you later." And then we didn't speak for a whole year. Like I didn't speak to him. We had no communication. I didn't even know that they broke up or they didn't get married. And then again, no communication. It airs, and then we spoke after the reunion, and it was just him saying thank you for like telling the truth, basically. And again, I've got huge respect to him because we've both been subject to hate online, and we've
Mm.
both checked in, not just me and him, but like every cast member. But yeah, there were times where he was just checking and being like, especially after the Mixer episode, he was like, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
Like, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm surrounded by friends and family." But I know, like, some people, the hate's been a lot.
Yeah.
But this season, I can say, like, I've obviously never done reality TV before, but I thought I was a strong person.
Mhm.
And I don't really care what people think of me, nor have I
Yeah.
really. I stand on who I am. But
Mhm.
when that episode came out, like, I had to turn off my comments. I deleted TikTok, I deleted Twitter, X, whatever it's called, um,
Mhm.
because it was just a lot. And
Yeah.
you think in your head, you're like, oh, I don't care what these people think, they're irrelevant. But when you're seeing the same comments
Yeah.
and they don't know you as a person, you're like, oh, am I this awful person? Like,
Yeah.
do I need to, like, reflect? And like, we didn't really do anything that bad, right? We flirted at a bar and he was engaged. I get it,
Mhm.
disrespectful, wrong. We've apologized, but like, there was no cheating, nothing. People were
Yeah.
acting like we ran off and had an affair for 6 months.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the
so yeah, it was a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
love.
think for the viewer, I think it's just the contrast, right? Like we see you guys flirting and then there's like this photo booth. So it seems very suspicious, right? And
Mhm.
there's this like it's alluding to the fact that something happened or that you guys kissed because it's like how do you guys go from flirting to now you guys are fighting? So it
Mhm.
really did seem like Javin was just pulling something out of his ass that you guys were fighting because we're like, well, what would they be fighting about? Like do
Yeah.
they have a connection in the pods? Like, how do you go from flirting to fighting? So it really didn't make sense. We just thought he was
Yeah.
lying. Like as a viewer, it just seemed like, okay, you're lying. And then you have Megan and Kieran kind of, I don't want to say like, you know, adding fuel to the fire, but they're alluding to the fact that you guys were talking all night, you guys were flirting all night, and then you guys go into this photo booth and we're like, suspicious, you
Suspicious.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suspicious,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I get it. I get it from the viewer's concept. We have both had this conversation, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
we're both like, I never want to see a photo booth or speak about a photo booth
Yeah.
ever again. We're both very
Mhm.
bored of this conversation, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get it from a viewer's perspective. And again, if we thought we were being clever, and like,
Mhm.
us chatting would never really make the edit because we were talking about behind the scenes stuff that
Right.
we
Yeah.
knew you would never see, right? Because it just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Um, Unfortunately, that's then been cut and edited to all the flirty bits in a 2-minute
Yeah.
segment
Yeah.
for you guys to see. So if you saw the whole conversation, you would see that it's a flirty debate. Like, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
well, I think this, ha 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 ha. And then, like, it's just joking.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But then since then, obviously filming's wrapped. We're not doing the mixer anymore. We've then since had private conversations with production, and
Mhm.
then we have both changed our minds about what we were arguing about, and are both very stubborn and was like, no, I'm right. And I was like, but they said
Yeah.
this to me. And he's like, well, they said this to me. And I was like, I don't
Mhm.
care. I'm standing on my business.
Mhm.
And he was like, I'm standing on mine. So yeah, I just wish that you could see it literally wouldn't make sense. It's really annoying. I wish we were
Yeah.
arguing about like football or something, but yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately it was how the pods work and connections in there.
Yeah.
That's why we love having these chats because it gives so much more context to these things that viewers are like, we know this isn't quite adding up, but we don't know the full story. So we love
Yeah.
being able to hear your side and you fill in all those little blanks for us. So have you noticed like the public perception has turned a little since the reunion? Because I thought you did such a good job of
Same.
taking accountability. We don't see that a lot, like we said. And I thought you had self-awareness, you saw and you owned up to what you felt was your part in it. And have you felt like people have come around a bit more now and less hate, hopefully?
Yeah, I feel like with my personality, I'm a very strong character, right? And I'm
Mhm.
a very opinionated and vocal character. So
Yeah.
it gets me in trouble. And some people, I say it in my video, I'm like, I'm a bit like Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. So I
Mm,
knew some people wouldn't get me. And I knew some people would be like, oh, she's being mean or she's a pick me girl or whatever they say online. I knew that.
Mhm.
But I just wish you guys saw that I was the same person at the reunion as I was in the show.
mm,
But
Mhm.
it, watching yourself back is such a weird experience because in the last year, I've done so much growth. I go to therapy. I've been working on my relationship with my mom, taking accountability in all things that I took from the experiment and like trying to mend them for my next partner. But you think I thought before it aired, I was like, oh, I've worked on myself loads. I'm in a much better position. And then it airs, and I wasn't ready to deal with some of the things that came up. And
mm,
I was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. And I remember going to my therapy session after the Mixer episode airs. And I was just like, look, this is how I feel, blah, 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 blah. And then I've had to work on that again. And then so at the
Mhm.
reunion, what you see is someone who's grown. And I think the viewers can see that. And all the comments are very positive about that. And I've taken accountability. Like, it would be very easy for me to play the villain with that Mixer episode and be like, well, I wasn't the one that was engaged. I didn't do anything
Mhm.
wrong. Like,
mm,
I could play that card and be like, well, I was just flirting. We had a connection and run down that avenue. But
Mhm.
that's not me as a person. Like,
mm,
Yeah.
if any of my girlfriends like even bump into a guy on a night out and they're like they smile at him, immediate no, I'm never speaking to that man ever again in my life.
yeah.
So the fact, like, I just wouldn't cross those boundaries, and I'm a very
Mhm.
strong, like, that's wrong.
Mhm.
um so I wanted to take accountability. And again, it's unfortunate you can't see the whole thing because then I
Mhm.
feel like there'd be a better perspective. We were still
Mhm,
in
Yeah.
the wrong, but it's not as intense as it's viewed. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, very long way to say that I've definitely grown. I'm a much happier and content person, and I'm less scared of rejection now. Like,
okay.
Oh,
That
that's
was
good.
actually my next question is if the show has changed your approach to dating. Do you feel like you're more guarded, less guarded, more open, less open?
I feel like my style of man is still the same. So I
Mm,
still very much want a man who's obsessed with me and makes that
mm,
very obvious.
mm,
I'm
Mhm.
never, nor do I ever want to be in a situation where it's like, oh, I don't know if he likes me or he does.
mm,
Like, I'm not
mhm.
Mhm.
here for any
Yeah,
of those childish games. I'm like, I want my man to be like, yep, you're mine. Let's run off and get married.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that hasn't changed. But what has changed is, again, in therapy, I didn't realize I did this, and I think I did it quite a lot on the show, is I would self-sabotage. So I would say certain things that I knew they probably wouldn't like, so then they would push
Mhm.
me away, so then I could be like, oh, well, I tried, he just
Mm,
Yeah.
wasn't into me.
mm,
So I do that less. I still have realized I haven't dated with intention in the last year because imagine, again, fear of rejection coming in, but imagine me falling head over heels in love with someone, and I
mm,
knew I did the experiment, so I knew what kind of edit was going to happen, right? So
Mhm.
imagine falling head over heels, and then my partner watches me back and he's like, yeah, you're not for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, do you know what? Let's work on myself, take myself away from the dating scene. But since it's all aired, I thought I would have like a few comments from exes being like, ha ha ha, you got
Yeah.
rejected from TV. But
yeah.
instead, it's been very positive actually. Like, a lot of them are like, I say a lot, like I've got a lot of exes, but a lot of the messages from guys who are interested are like, oh, if you're still single, hit me up. I'd love to date you.
Oh,
Or they're like,
mm,
oh, I'm really proud. Or because they know me and they know like different elements of me. When they watch the snippets of me being like, oh, I don't want someone who lives at home, or the designer bag comment, or whatever comments I made, they're like, oh, we get that because we get you. So like, I was very scared when I first watched it. I was like, oh, like people that know me are going to judge me. But then like, they know me, so they know those comments are in jest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of men that are interested in you, you don't gotta answer this if you don't want to. You can say no comment. But one of our little birdies might have mentioned that you might have had dinner with Freddie after the reunion. Now, is that true or no comment? Not true. Just friends dating. We're all obsessed with Freddie. Everyone in every
I'm
country.
really
I'm
So
obsessed with Freddie.
Okay.
we all love him. So
The tea,
we
like,
get
we
all the tea. We get
we
all the tea.
yes, I was
we know
thinking we were
everything.
being really secretive. We happen to be in the same hotel post reunion. And he's such a darling angel that he watched me be very visually upset, and he messaged me on Instagram just to say, hey Soph, like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just leaving the studio. And he was like, oh, I think we're at the same hotel. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll be there in a bit. And he was like, have you eaten? I was like, no, I've not eaten. I've been at the reunion. And he was like, okay, I'm at this table. Come see me. So we had dinner, and we actually played table football. Do you,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
for
Is that
like, it's like,
team sport?
I don't know. I don't even know if you have it in America, but anyway, it's like a very childish game. We were playing till like 1 a.m. playing this football game.
Okay.
And it was just light-hearted, and Freddie is exactly what I needed when I got back from there, because the reunion was heavy. Like, I'm sure you
Yeah.
can see that. So yeah, but he is very single and I am very single,
Okay.
and
So it wasn't a date. It was just a friendly
Just a
catch up.
just a
it
helpful
was
chat
just
after the
Freddie being the
reunion.
beautiful soul that he is.
Well, you guys would make
He
a
really
lovely
is.
couple. And he's brunette. I'm just saying.
And he lives in Manchester. Like, I did say, like, I was like, guys, you, like, to the producers, I was like, you did me dirty because you put Freddie from Manchester in the season before, and I was like, that's it, gonna
Yeah.
find my husband. And then, yeah, no Freddie's on my show, but
No.
No, Freddie. Is Freddie
Freddie's
someone
the one
you
in a
would date?
million.
Is he someone you would date? Is he your type?
yeah. So again, I didn't, like, I said to him when we were at dinner, and I was like, oh, I was really worried about like having dinner with you. He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you're such a nice guy. Like, you know, when I just thought it would be a little bit two dimensional. And I'm very jokey and very upfront and very honest. And I was like, oh, I don't know if he's going to take offense to what I'm going to say, but he is so funny. Like,
Yes.
I didn't see that from him. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't think you would have jokes, but we were crying. Like, he's
Aw.
just so funny. So knowing him, I literally did his podcast yesterday. So
Oh, love
yeah,
it. Well,
he was asking me all the tea. It's a shame he wasn't in my season. Who knows what would happen? But yeah, he's doing
well,
his thing and I'm doing mine.
Okay.
you know, there is other shows like Perfect Match, so you could end up on the same show together eventually. Would you do something like Perfect Match? Would you be interested in any other dating shows?
So interestingly, my family was like, don't read your comments on your socials, whatever. But a lot of the comments I got was, this is Sophie's audition for Perfect Match. And I didn't know what Perfect Match was. Like, if I'm honest, I'm very new to reality TV. I'm always out and about. Like, I'm a 90210 girl, pull it on the telly, chill out, or Gilmore
Yeah.
Girls. And so I was like, what is this? And so I watched Perfect Match and I see Freddie on there. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Uh-huh.
But like, maybe that was the show for me. Maybe like you just get to flirt with people and have a great summer. I was like, that sounds like a little bit of what I need.
Yes.
But yeah, never say never. Who knows? Netflix will have to give me a call, but um, yeah, it'd probably be nice to do something more fun, not
More fun.
as
Yeah,
intense.
lighthearted. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Although
what is
people, I was gonna
what's
say,
next for you,
I was gonna say,
Sophie?
oh yeah,
Oh,
you go.
what were you gonna go ahead?
I was gonna say people are getting engaged and having babies over on that show though with
That's
AD and
true.
Sophie, so
It's not
I
so
it,
know.
lighthearted and fun anymore.
yeah, it
But
started that way, but
even watching Ollie and AD's love story, like I think it happened because, like, again with Megan and Kieran from my show, I think it happens because they both went in from Love is Blind, which is very
yeah,
serious and with that intention. And they both
Mm.
went in on this show with the intention, oh yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's like summer, like everyone on there's also done another show, so you're with like-minded
yeah,
people. And I think that's why it works. I feel like when
Yeah.
you put pressure on something for a set outcome, feel like that's when you don't see certain red flags or you'll
yeah.
mold yourself to try and get to that outcome. So
Mhm.
yeah, if I did it, I would go in like, this is a summer of fun. And if I find an American husband, sign me up. I'll move
Love
over
it.
to California.
And you'll move over here.
Yeah.
Do it.
So what's next for you, Sophie? Where can our viewers find you? And well, Ashley asked you about reality TV, but what's next and where
Yeah.
can they find you?
I don't really know what's next. It's been a bit of a whirlwind.
Mhm.
I'm very content in life. I'm still being my little business girly and smashing it with work.
Love that.
I'm doing a bit more like fashion and modeling. Like that's something, it's always great to get paid to look pretty, right? So
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
that's great. But if I've taken anything from this show, it is how valuable spending time with family and friends is,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
being present in today. Like it's very
Mhm.
easy to sit and get absorbed with social media and the perception of life rather than your actual life. So I
Yeah.
think what's next is I'm going to be present, and what will be will be.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
And
and
what are
one,
your socials?
Pardon?
Your social media? Where can
oh,
they find
your handles.
your
We'll
social
put
handle?
them in the caption so people can find you. But
Oh
it's
yeah, it's
Sophie.
very easy. It's literally just my initials. So it's SLW.3 because 3 is
Oh,
my lucky
perfect.
number.
Love it.
Okay.
And one thing I did want to ask, the handbags that you need by a certain age, we need the list. What are the handbags on this list? Because I'm just curious for myself. So
So to clarify, that comment was made in jest, but I was
yeah.
trying to be a little bit sneaky, and I was trying to work out, without being really obvious, if people were in the same financial situation as me.
Okay.
I
And
love it.
it's actually backfired and it looks the other way, that I'm chasing money, but I just wanted to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that people could live the same life that I do. However,
Yeah.
I turned 30 this year, and a Chanel handbag is my number one. I have like 5 wish
Love.
lists. I actually
Okay.
did a Q&A on my Instagram the other day, and someone said they'll buy me a Birkin. Like that is obviously on my wish list, but never gonna happen.
Love it.
So if anybody watching this wants to buy me designer handbags, hit me up.
Me
I'm
too.
Yeah. Well, I'll take one. Just put your wish
So,
list on your
so we have
Instagram
a
and
Chanel, and what are the other 4?
Um, a Saint Laurent Sac de Jour that's been on my list for a while, but I'm actually very financially responsible. So
Okay.
there's loads of times when I'm like, is that $2,000
Mhm.
design handbag a great investment?
Mm.
However, my mentality is, if I have a daughter one day, she can inherit them. So it's kind
Mhm.
of an investment. And
Girl, yeah.
especially with a Chanel bag, they go up in value. So
Mhm.
anyone saying I'm materialistic, I'm actually doing stocks and shares, but as a girl.
Yeah.
Love it.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, it's girl, right?
Also, there's nothing wrong with being materialistic if you're buying it for yourself, okay? And
I
it's also
know. Everyone's
with
like,
somebody buying it for you. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, Sophie's chasing the money. And I'm like, hold on a minute. That I never said I wanted you to buy me one. I was just
Yeah.
saying I live a very beautiful life. I have my own apartment. I have a dog now. So since the show, I brought a puppy because I was like, she can't
Aw.
reject me.
What kind of
Aw.
puppy?
Yeah, and then
Mm.
yeah, so I go on holiday a lot. Like I'm very happy with my life, and
Yeah.
materials do make me happy sometimes.
Good.
Sometimes I like going on hikes and being wholesome. Like I'm a
Yeah.
girl that can do both.
Yeah. Nobody wants to date
Multifaceted.
a bum. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I know.
Have standards.
I
Yeah,
know. For a while, I was like, "Oh, should I lower my standards?" And then when I came out and the perception and like a few guys that I previously dated, I'm like, "Do you know what? They just weren't my caliber of men, and that is okay."
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my caliber of men is amazing, and I'm gonna stay there.
Okay.
Yes.
Period.
It's worth
Period.
it.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
What kind of dog did you get?
I
I'm
got a
gonna go-
cockapoo. Do you want me to go get her?
Please,
Yeah,
I would love
okay,
to
I'll be
do
back.
that.
We love dogs. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh! Hi! Oh my goodness! What's her name?
Truffle, like the oil, like
Truffle.
Oh
truffle.
my god! She's
Aw.
so cute.
A little teddy.
She's
She's
adorable.
so adorable. Wow.
So
Hi,
cute.
Truffle. Hi, Truffle. Is that your mom? Thank
She's
you
like,
for
my
You're
mom's
showing
always
us,
on
Truffle.
calls at the moment. She's like, what's going on?
right. And she's
So
like, get
cute.
off, Mom.
She is
She looks
so
so
cute.
cuddly. So you got her after filming the show?
Yeah, so I got her
Aw.
just after I turned 29. So Christmas last year. I got
Okay.
her a week before Christmas.
Oh.
And it is a lot, and it's made me realize I am not ready for a child anytime
Yeah.
soon because she is a lot.
Yes.
Um,
Dogs are like babies. They really are.
yeah, but that's also another thing that I didn't want to settle on the show. I like dogs, and I want my partner to like dogs and want a
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Aw.
yeah.
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 That's a deal breaker. If you don't like my dog, I can't tell you, Sophie, how many people I've broken up with because they made a mere comment that I didn't like about my dog. I was like, oh, you'll never see me again.
Yeah. No, but
I
I
love
think
it.
that's such like a key, and like not just Truffle, but most dogs, they have such a good sense of judgment. Like if Truffle
Mhm.
barks at someone, I'm like, you're not a very good person.
Mhm.
Right.
Dogs are great at testing people that way, right? So,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
a December birthday too?
November, so I'm a Scorpio
Oh.
through and through, and such a
Okay.
strong Scorpio as well.
Yes. That makes sense. Love Scorpios. So,
Yeah. Well, it's been so amazing talking to you, Sophie. I will say, because I'm not a fake ass bitch, but like I my perception of you when I watched you, I wasn't a fan, but after the reunion and after talking to you today, I can see that you got the shit end of the stick, and you're actually lovely, and you took accountability, and that's all we want as viewers. And I hope nothing but the best for you moving forward. And you've been
yeah.
so lovely today.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you. Thank you.
we yeah, we love getting to know you better and our audience getting to know you better. And it's so nice to see because the show really tries to just show one side of someone because
Mm.
they need to sort of have those characters. So
Yeah.
it's really lovely to see your whole personality. And I can't imagine anyone not liking you now because it's been such a great chat. And we
Yeah.
appreciate you giving us the tea and giving us all the background and all the context. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back with another episode soon, I'm sure. So thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sophie.
guys. Bye.